If you have OSHA compliance questions or concerns, Pike Group's got you covered.
Hello and welcome to Head First Fishing. My name is Captain Joseph Rains. I'm a full-time fishing guide and captain in the Tampa Bay area. Today we're going to be doing some investigation. Recently, we've had the threat of a full-blown environmental disaster in Tampa Bay. Over on the southeast side of Tampa Bay in the Port Manatee, Piney Point area, we have a phospho-gypsum stack that is left over from the phosphate mining industry, has a compromised wall, a tear in the wall that has been leaking contaminated water into Tampa Bay. The powers that be have decided that tens of millions and potentially hundreds of millions of gallons of this contaminated water will enter Tampa Bay. The release is already underway. Today we're going to be looking around and comparing water from different areas of the bay to over there in Port Manatee. Behind me you see the Skyway, and beyond that is Port Manatee. We're starting our day over here in the Fort De Soto Park area. Over here is Mullet Key, and the flats over here look pretty normal. It's beautiful. Clean water, clear water, lots of manatee grass, turtle grass, a little bit of shoal grass. Really great looking water. What we're going to do is we're going to bounce over to the east side, and we're going to go over to Miguel Bay, and we're going to go to Bishop's Harbor, then we're going to go to Port Manatee, and we're going to see the difference in the water quality. In my live well in the back of the boat, I have about 24 scaled sardines, aka white bait or greenbacks. I've got a threadfin herring, I've got a couple pinfish, and we're going to see how they last throughout the day. We're at our first stop. We've just entered Miguel Bay, which is just south of I-275, lower end of the Skyway Bridge. Let's go ahead and check on our friends here, the bait fish. Looks like our couple dozen pilchards are still doing pretty good. Threadfin's still doing pretty good. Pinfish are kicking around. The water is nice and clean. It looks pretty normal over here. So we're going to continue to monitor these guys. We're going to move around the area, see if anything changes, and we're going to move on over to Bishop's Harbor on the other side of I-275 and see what the water quality is like over there, and see what happens to the bait fish. So we're going to spend a few more minutes here, see if there's any effect, and then we'll move on. So we've been back here in Miguel Bay for about half an hour now, and looks like our bait is actually doing pretty good. Don't see anything floating around. All the different species, they all look good. So I think we're done back here. Let's move up the bay a little bit and go into Bishop's Harbor and see what it's like over there. Well, we traveled north a little bit and now we're in Bishop's Harbor. Looking around, looking at the watercolor in here, it's definitely a little bit dirtier than I've seen in recent weeks. It's not necessarily due to the discharges. Can't really blame it on that at the moment, but it definitely doesn't look as clean as it has been. We're gonna make our way further back in here again, just like we did in Miguel, see if we see any signs of death, algae blooms or anything like that. 75.9 degrees on the Simrad unit. Overall, it looks pretty decent. Doesn't look like anything terrible is going on just yet. We're going to be monitoring our bait. We're going to check on the bait in about 15 to 20 minutes, see what's going on with that, and then we'll move up just north to Port Manatee. We've been in here at least half an hour. Everything seems normal. The bait's still kicking. No problems there. Let's move out of Bishop's Harbor and go up around Port Manatee and see if we see anything different. I just pulled onto the flats just above Port Manatee, and for whatever reason the water here is very dirty. Super dirty. It's very off-colored, off-green, it's dingy. It definitely doesn't look good. We're going to continue up. We're going to make our way into Cockroach Bay and see what the water looks like in there, see what happens to the bait. Let's open up the live well lid real quick. Let's see what's going on here. Water's definitely dirty. We got one bait's dead. Looks like everything else is doing okay. So one dead bait, that doesn't really mean anything. If you start seeing a bunch of the bait die, that's a sure sign that there's something wrong with the water. I've been idling around the flats, checking the situation out. We got a research vessel over here doing water sampling, doing bottom sampling. Really appreciate their work over here. I noticed when I came over here, I got a little whiff of something funky in the air. I'm not exaggerating. It had that kind of rotten, kind of stagnant kind of smell to it. So it's not something I usually smell on an average day on Tampa Bay. So there's something going on for sure.
We're having some problems.
Is it? I know you got this cluster of islands in here, and you got to go back on the flat. There's another cut that goes back in there.
Yeah.
By down there, closer to where the creek is.
Yeah, you know, you got your boon and stuff like that down there, but Piney Point down there is just a terrible mess.
Yeah.
I stay away from it. I don't want my bait to die.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as seeing any habitat, as far as damage, I haven't really seen it yet. But I think it's too early to tell.
It is too early to tell. All that stuff.
Are they still pumping?
Last I heard, at least 50 million gallons have made it into the bay. That's a lot of water.
I mean, we're catching fish. I mean, it's terrible that this has happened. You know, considering what Tampa Bay's been through, you know, since 2011, and actually back since 2004 and 2006. I mean, we're just trying to get over the hump, and here we are again. You know, it's just terrible. We've got a lot of captains out here. You know, we use these waters to make our living, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. You know, if it really does get bad, we have a massive algae bloom and a big
That's what I'm
marine life
concerned
die-off.
about. The people who suffer from this, the people who live on the bay. It's not just the captains, man. It's the homeowners.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our real estate, the price of our real estate is going to go down. There's no telling what's going to happen, and it's too early to tell. I mean, we're probably 2-3 weeks, even a month out.
Yeah, it's good. When that water temperature starts to spike, then we'll see what's what.
I mean, I wouldn't even go swimming in it now for nothing. And I've been on these waters all my life. It's sad.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many things change out here.
Right.
You know, and what we go through to try to make a living. You know, we've been on this fish ban where we can't keep any fish, and you know, I got some clients. You know, they pay good money to come out here. They want to keep a few fish.
Yeah.
You know, we're worried. You know, it's our livelihood. We're worried.
Yeah. Anyway, anything you want to tell our audience? Anything you want to say? A short little message or anything like that?
I hope we all can stand together through this and stay together as a group. I think we need to have our faith. I think we need to pray. I think it's important. You know, this is big, and it don't need to be overlooked. I think they need to be held responsible. It's not going to bring what happens back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what's done is done. We can't go back and redo it. But we can make some changes from here on out. You know what I mean? I think we all just need to stick together and pray and hope that it ends up for the best.
Okay.
What else can we do? It's in the mercy of God Almighty and the bloom.
Yeah.
If we don't get the bloom, then you know what I mean? I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Seagrass, that's the main thing. My main concern. We lose the seagrass, we're in trouble.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You know, it's good to see you. You got a beautiful new boat.
Thank you.
Captain Gavin O'Neill, Apollo Beach Charters.
Thank you, man.
We'll see you later.
See ya. Enjoy.
It's always good to see Captain Gavin. He's been back here fishing quite a bit. He knows these waters very well. And it's good to hear that his bait is staying alive and he's not having problems catching fish. That's a really good sign. We're going to head back to the south a little bit. It sounds like he was saying that there's an area a little bit closer to the port that is definitely a place that they're having problems. So we're going to go investigate that. Well, it's now about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We made our way back to O'Neill's. That west wind started picking up and the tide was bottoming out. So I didn't think we were going to be able to get back into the place that Captain Gavin said we should investigate. I also didn't want to get beat to death coming back across the bay. So I think we'll have to do more investigation later or just see what happens. It's definitely a huge concern for all the residents of the Tampa Bay area of this contaminated water entering the Tampa Bay estuary. So this is going to be a to be continued. Thanks for watching. Be sure you subscribe to Head First Fishing, and I'll see you later.